Hello, lovely people. Another fantastic UFC in the books. 311 was an absolutely brilliant card. Makhachev is now the pound for pound number one, according to Dana White, and the lightweight GOAT in many people's opinions. Merab is just a machine, just like his nickname suggests. Alex Pereira versus Ankalaev has been made official. And what next for Yuri Prochazka and Jamal Hill? This is the Sanderson Show. Welcome to MMA Monday. Let's do this, people. Yes, people, I hope you're well. Welcome back to the channel. Please do smash the like button if you're here now, and do subscribe if you're watching and haven't subscribed in the past. We have got to start with UFC 311, a fantastic card in my opinion. The main card was brilliant. We had 4 finishes and 1 fight that went to decision, and the fight that went to decision was fight of the night. So we were spoiled on Saturday. And you know what? I don't usually do this, but Jamie, for the first time, bro, you're wrong. Like, do you know how nice it feels to say that? Because Jay, when it comes to like MMA, is like he just gets everything right, and then he rubs it in my face. I never hear the end of it. Jay, you got this wrong. You said this would be a boring card. I'll even go as far to say Jay, who didn't like Merab before, loves Merab now. So Jay, 2025 might be my year, and it might be Luke's year, and it might not be yours because you dominated 2024. But now, big up Jay, big up Luke. Links their channels in the description, so make sure you subscribe over there. So I'm going to rank UFC 311. I'm going to start doing this for all the pay-per-views. So out of 10, I'd actually give the main card, probably give it an 8.5. The reason all right, I'm going to go 8.5. The reason why I'm not going 9, 9.5 or 10 is because the main event, in the sense of, it wasn't the original main event, right? It was Moicano stepping in at short notice, who again is ranked, I think he was like ranked number 9 in the division, going up against the pound for pound number 1 in Makhachev. So the result is routine in terms of Makhachev winning. How he did it was still sensational, obviously, because Moicano is a savage and he is that guy. But yeah, I really enjoyed the card. I really did enjoy the card. So shout out to UFC, put on another fantastic. So I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Some shocks on the night. Obviously, Talbot losing. Many people didn't see that coming in. If you bet on him, then you lost that. And if you bet on his opponent, then you won really big. So it'll be interesting to see how Payton comes back from that. So let's get into some of the topics. Islam Makhachev. Dana White has come out and publicly stated that Makhachev is now pound for pound number 1 fighter. Now, I have a little theory on that. I want to see what you guys think. Dana White has been non-stop in his praise for John Jones over the past couple of years, and has been adamant, going against everyone, saying that John Jones is pound for pound number 1. And now, after the win against Moicano, he's saying that Makhachev is pound for pound number 1. Now, I don't have a problem with him saying that, but I do think the reason he's saying that is probably, in my opinion, and look, I might be putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5 or 6. I think he's saying that because negotiations for John Jones versus Aspinall probably aren't going too well. He even made a little slide dig saying that, like, obviously Makhachev staying on the card and saying, look, this is what you do when you're pound for pound number 1, or you're the best in the world. You still take this fight. Obviously, Jones notorious for not taking the Chael Sonnen fight back at UFC 151. And again, I'll be honest, I kind of side with Jones on that one, if I'm going to be completely honest. But Dana White's never really been able to forgive John Jones for that. And I think for him to now say Jones isn't pound for pound number 1 and that it's Makhachev, I think that means that negotiations aren't going too well. But let's get back to Makhachev. And look, he is pound for pound number one. He really is, in my opinion. But if you look at the pound for pound rankings at the moment, and like, I'll probably go into a deeper conversation with Luke and Jay about this, or maybe someone else. You've got him, you've got Topuria, who's got to be in the conversation. You've got Pereira, who was champion at 85 and is now champion at 205. He's got to be in the conversation. You've got to put Duplessis in the conversation at the moment as well. Like John Jones, obviously in the conversation as well. These fighters have Pantoja. It's a hard list at the moment. It's a stacked list. But for me, Islam is the guy. Just look, he looks like he's just getting better and better. It looked like he got wobbled a little bit by Moicano, but composed himself, got the takedown. And look, when he gets that dash choke and he sinks it in, it's all she wrote in it. He's so good technically. And obviously the talk has been, is he the lightweight GOAT? His fourth title defense, his first against Volkanovski, his second against Volkanovski, his third against Dustin Poirier, and then his last one now against Moicano means he's the winningest champion at this weight class. And I know people automatically will say, well, if you're the winningest champion, then you're automatically the GOAT of the weight class. In the same way they have with Stipe, who won who had 3 title defenses in a row at heavyweight. I don't think that is the way to judge it, though. However, Islam could just very well be that guy. But I think you have to look at Khabib. I think you have to look at BJ Penn as well. But he's definitely in that conversation. Again, probably have to go into a deeper conversation, a real deeper look to see who is that number one. But Makhachev is definitely not doing anything to hurt his stock and his potential for being that guy and given that praise and given that title. So Islam, fantastic fighter. And again, I think he's now moved away from that quote unquote, he's just another Dagestani wrestler. He finishes fights with jiu-jitsu, he finishes fights with striking, he does everything, and he does everything to a really, really high level. A fantastic fighter and a joy to watch. Going over to someone else who's in his camp now, Umar Nurmagomedov came up short against Merab in their epic battle at bantamweight, and Merab, he's nicknamed the Machine, but I don't even know if that's doing him justice. The guy has like 6 or 7 lungs. Literally must have 6 or 7 lungs. At the end of the fight, Merab was fresh. He was jumping around. He was smiling and laughing. He was talking and happy and exuberant. Umar Nurmagomedov was having to hold himself up on the cage, was still breathing heavy while he was speaking to Joe Rogan in a post-fight interview. That is the sort of pace that Merab puts on people. It is scary how much pressure this guy puts on fighters. Now, we've had some greats do it. Khabib was brilliant at putting pressure on people. Strickland's excellent at doing the same. Pereira's excellent at doing the same. Merab is just different, though. And you know, I think one thing that goes underrated about Merab is chin. Tagged in this fight quite a few times. Didn't phase him. Got hit hard against Cejudo. Didn't phase him. Merab is that guy. And look, he was probably the most disrespected fighter on the card. I did predict Umar to win, but I did say Merab is still a fantastic fighter. But the guy, man, you can't keep on doubting him. He beat Sean O'Malley fair and square, and he's beating Umar. It's a case of who next for him, though, because he's beating O'Malley, he's beating Umar, he's beating Yan already, and they're the top 3. Then you look at Sanhagen and Figueiredo, who are next, and they've most recent fights have been losses. Maybe it's Peter Yan. Maybe that's another video I look at in a deeper analysis. But Merab, man, special fighter. Also on the card was Yuri Prochazka versus Jamal Hill, which was a great fight as well, man. 1 round apiece going into the 3rd round and looking as though, you know, it's up for grabs for both men. And Yuri just, again, he's another guy, pressure. Just puts the pace on people. Has that samurai warrior spirit where it's do or die. And he went out there and put on an absolutely fantastic display in that 3rd round. Feel sorry for Jamal Hill. He gave as good as he got in that fight. And And I think people are going overboard saying, look, yeah, this is why he won't, this is why he was champion for a short period of time. And, you know, he only beat up a washed up Glover. Look, Jamal's a fantastic fighter. He's a world-class fighter. He just come up short against Yuri, who is the second best in the division behind Alex Pereira, who's considered one of the best pound-for-pound fighters currently. Just because a fighter loses doesn't mean they're washed, doesn't mean they're trash. We've got to move away from this mindset. If you lose to the best and the second best in your division, doesn't make you washed. It doesn't mean you're rubbish. It means you've just come up short against the two best in the division. So look, I really hope Jamal bounces back. I'll be interested to see who's matched up with next. Also be interested to see who Yuri's matched up with next. I know he wants the Alex Pereira fight back. I don't think he gets that, even if Alex does beat Ankalaev. But we'll see what happens there. Shout out to Liao101 says, Arman let the world down. Even Dana was visibly angry. Yeah, it's very weird. Dana kind of just shut it down, saying, look, he's not getting a next title shot. That suggests to me that Dana, one of two things, either Arman hid the injury and Dana was frustrated that he hid the injury and only told him at the last minute, or Dana doesn't believe the injury was bad enough for him to pull out. But either way, Dana's peed off with him, because if Dana wasn't peed off with him, he would have been like, yeah, he gets the title shot. When he's fully recovered and healed up, he gets a title shot. And Dana said the complete opposite of that. Islam is the GOAT, says skills. Big up to Andre in the chat. Big up to Theo. Big up to Zakir. Smash the like button if you haven't already, guys. Right, final topic. Pereira versus Ankalaev is official. This is the fight that needed to be made. And Pereira is a betting underdog going into the fight, which is crazy. However, I understand why. Ankalaev is from the region of the world where it is known for being highly grappling, fantastic wrestlers. He's not that, though. He's a good wrestler. He's got good grappling. He's not a wrestler. He's a striker. He's a kickboxer. I don't understand this narrative that everyone thinks, oh, yeah, he's just going to wrestle Pereira. When he says he's going to stand there and he's going to knock Pereira out and he wants to knock him out, he believes it. He's a kickboxer. He might mix in some grappling, but he's not a wrestler. He might decide to shoot in, but he's not a wrestler. And I'm just happy this fight's been made, because I think it puts to bed the rumors that Pereira's ducking him and doesn't want to fight someone who's got high-level grappling. Look, Pereira hasn't ducked anyone since he's been in UFC. In fact, he wants all the smoke, and he's been excellent so far. So I'm looking forward to that fight at UFC 313. I do think Pereira gets it done, and if and when he gets it done, I think that's when he moves up to heavyweight, and then we're in for some fun if he goes to heavyweight as well. Potentially captures a third belt there as well. So yeah, people. Theo says Arman Sarukian will be the Max Holloway or Whitaker division, beat everyone but Islam. Yeah, I can see a world where that happens as well. Although the fight with him and Oliveira was really close. Oliveira could actually be the person in that division to be like that. Ankalaev has the best chance against Pereira since Adesanya. I completely agree. Skills. Volkan's still fighting. Uzdemir's still fighting. He fought last year. I can't remember who his last opponent was, but I think he got the decision win. But yeah, he's still about. He's still about. But people, look, I'm going to wrap it up here. It's just a short one. Going to have some more videos coming out. Going to have some shorter videos going into a bit more detail in some of these topics, such as who next for Yuri, who next for Hill, Merab, bantamweight division, etc. So make sure you look out for that. Switch on the notification bell if you haven't already. Make sure you smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you all for watching and listening. This has been the Sanderson Show, and see you all soon, people. Take care.